Choosing between two premium drivers can feel like you're splitting hairs. They both promise more distance, better forgiveness, and straighter shots. But the TaylorMade Qi35 and Srixon ZXi take very different approaches to getting you there, and understanding those differences can help you make the right call. Welcome to Golf Gear Now, where we break down the gear that matters so you can play better golf. All the links to both drivers are in the description, along with current pricing we've found. Today, we're comparing two drivers that are turning heads for different reasons. The Qi35 brings TaylorMade's most advanced carbon technology to the table, while the ZXi delivers Srixon's take on explosive distance with a more traditional feel. Both can absolutely help your game, but which one fits your swing? Let's find out. Let's start with what's actually inside these clubs, because that's where the performance story begins. TaylorMade built the Qi35 around something you don't see every day, a full carbon face. We're not talking about just a carbon crown here. The entire face is constructed from their 60x carbon twist face technology. Why does that matter? Carbon fiber allows TaylorMade to create a face that's lighter, more flexible in the right places, and maintains ball speed across a much larger hitting area than traditional titanium. That carbon construction extends through the infinity carbon crown, which wraps the entire top of the club head. The weight savings from going full carbon gets redistributed low and deep in the head, pushing the center of gravity down and back. The result is one of the highest MOI ratings, moment of inertia, which measures forgiveness, in TaylorMade's history. We're talking north of 10,000 G-centimeters squared, which puts it at the top of the forgiveness charts. The Qi35 also features the through-slot speed pocket on the sole, a flexible channel that helps maintain ball speed and optimize launch on those inevitable low-face strikes. It's insurance for when you catch it thin. The Srixon ZXi takes a completely different approach with their Rebound frame technology. Instead of carbon everywhere, Srixon engineered a 4-layer frame structure that acts like a trampoline around the impact zone. When the ball compresses against the face, these layers flex and snap back in sequence, channeling energy directly into the golf ball. It's a fascinating design that's particularly effective on center and near-center hits, where that sequential energy transfer creates explosive ball speeds. Srixon pairs this with a lightweight carbon crown that lowers the center of gravity and increases stability. Though the MOI comes in slightly lower than the Qi35, estimated around 9,000 plus GCM squared, which is still excellent by any standard. The ZXi's face features variable thickness patterns that optimize ball speed across the hitting area, though it's tuned more toward rewarding solid contact rather than rescuing mishits. There's also an adjustable hosel that allows plus or minus 1 degree of loft adjustment for trajectory fine-tuning. So, which technology wins? If you need absolute maximum forgiveness and want technology that protects your distance on every swing, the Qi35's full carbon approach gives you a bigger safety net. If you're a more consistent ball striker who wants to maximize performance when you catch it flush, the ZXi's Rebound frame might give you that extra explosive pop. How a driver looks and feels matters more than you might think. Confidence at address leads to better swings, and the feedback you get through your hands tells you what's working. The TaylorMade Qi35 has a modern, streamlined profile at address. The carbon crown has a subtle texture that cuts glare, and the alignment aid is understated. Just enough to help you square up without being distracting. The overall shape inspires confidence without looking bulky. It's a clean premium aesthetic that fits right into TaylorMade's current design language. The sole features TaylorMade's signature styling with blue and silver accents. Nothing flashy, just purposeful design that looks good without trying too hard. The Srixon ZXi has a slightly more traditional appearance. The crown is clean and matte black, and the overall shape at address is confidence-inspiring without being oversized. Srixon's attention to detail shows in the craftsmanship. Everything about this club looks like it belongs in a tour player's bag. The sole graphics are tasteful with Srixon's blue and white color scheme. It's classic, professional, and won't distract you when you're setting up to swing. Now, let's talk about sound and feel, because this is where the two drivers really diverge. The Qi35 produces what most golfers describe as a muted, solid thump at impact. That carbon face dampens vibration, creating a softer, quieter sound than traditional titanium drivers. There's no sharp crack or metallic ring, just a confident, controlled impact sensation. Some golfers love this because it feels effortless and smooth. You're not getting harsh feedback on mishits, which can actually help you stay loose and aggressive with your swing. Other golfers miss the more lively, responsive feel of metal. It's definitely a preference thing. The feel through your hands is similarly dampened. You know you've made contact, but the sensation is muted compared to drivers with titanium faces. For golfers who tense up when they feel too much vibration, this can be a real advantage. The Srixon ZXi delivers a crisper, more traditional driver experience. There's a satisfying metallic crack at impact that tells you immediately when you flushed one. The sound has that distinct ping that Srixon drivers are known for. Not harsh, but definitely more lively than the Qi35. You get clear feedback through your hands about where on the face you made contact. Pure strikes feel explosive and confidence-inspiring. Mishits give you enough information to know where you caught it without feeling punishing. For golfers who like staying connected to their shots and using that feedback to adjust, the ZXi provides exactly that. The added vibration and feedback can be a plus or minus depending on what you're looking for. Better players often prefer it because it helps them dial in their strike patterns. Golfers who get in their own heads about mishits might prefer the Qi35's more forgiving feel. Both drivers promise forgiveness, but they deliver it in different ways and to different degrees. The TaylorMade Qi35 is built from the ground up to be a forgiveness machine. That ultra-high MOI we talked about translates directly into real-world performance on mishits. Independent testing shows that heel and toe strikes with the Qi35 lose significantly less ball speed compared to traditional drivers. We're talking about mishits that would normally cost you 20 to 30 yards, only costing you 10 to 15 yards. That's the difference between fairway and hazard, between a short iron approach and a long rescue club from the rough. The full carbon face creates what's called sweet spot expansion. More of the face behaves like the center, so even when you know you missed it, the ball still comes off hot. The dispersion patterns are tighter too. Your misses don't spray as far offline, which means more fairways hit and fewer penalty strokes. The through-slot speed pocket adds another layer of forgiveness specifically for low-face strikes. That's the shot where you catch it a groove low and watch it balloon with no distance. The Qi35's flexible sole helps maintain ball speed and keeps launch angles reasonable, even when you thin it. Player feedback consistently mentions how the Qi35 helped them find more fairways, simply because they stopped worrying about perfect contact. When you trust the club to help you on your misses, you tend to swing more freely and confidently. Sometimes that mental edge translates directly into better strikes. The Srixon ZXi offers excellent forgiveness, especially for a driver aimed at better ball strikers. That 9,000 plus MOI provides solid stability, and the variable face thickness helps maintain speed across the hitting area. Where it differs from the Qi35 is in the target performance window. The ZXi is designed for golfers who make reasonably good contact most of the time. If you're hitting the center or near center 7 or 8 times out of 10, the ZXi gives you great results with enough forgiveness to keep the occasional mishit in play. But when you really miss it, heel low or toe high, you'll feel the performance drop off more than you would with the Qi35. The ball speed loss is more noticeable. and the dispersion widens up compared to TaylorMade's carbon technology. Real-world testing shows the ZXi keeps you competitive on most off-center hits, but there's a bigger gap between your best strikes and your worst ones. For consistent ball strikers, that's not necessarily a problem. For golfers still working on strike consistency, it's a meaningful difference. Here's the bottom line on forgiveness. If you struggle with consistent contact and need maximum help on your misses, the Qi35 is clearly the more forgiving option. If you're a solid striker who just wants insurance on the occasional mishit, the ZXi provides plenty of forgiveness without sacrificing the performance rewards for good swings. Both drivers can send it, but they get you there through different paths. The TaylorMade Qi35 is all about consistent distance across the face. That carbon technology means the gap between your pure strikes and your okay strikes is much smaller. Over an entire round, that consistency can be more valuable than having one monster drive if the other 13 tee shots are all over the place. Players testing the Qi35 report carry distances that stay remarkably stable even when strike location varies. The difference between a center hit and a toe strike might be 8 to 10 yards, compared to 15 to 20 yards with many other drivers. When you multiply that across 14 tee shots, you're keeping yourself in position to attack greens instead of scrambling from trouble. The ball flight with the Qi35 tends toward mid to high launch with optimized spin rates. For most amateur golfers, this is exactly what you want. A ball that gets up easily, carries well, and doesn't balloon into wind. The launch profile is predictable and repeatable, which helps you plan your strategy off the tee. Maximum distance numbers with the Qi35 are competitive with anything on the market. Golfers with swing speeds in the 95 to 105 miles per hour range are seeing carry distances in the 260 to 280 yard range on well-struck shots, with good rollout on firm fairways. The key is that you're getting those numbers more consistently because the technology protects your misses. The Srixon ZXi takes a different approach. It's built for explosive distance when you catch it flush. That Rebound frame technology is absolutely tuned for speed on center and near center strikes. Independent testing shows ball speed numbers with the ZXi that compete with the hottest drivers on tour. Some testers have reported personal best ball speeds with the ZXi, specifically because that 4-layer frame structure maximizes energy transfer when you square it up. The ball flight is penetrating and powerful, mid-launch with moderate spin that creates a trajectory that eats up yards in the air and keeps rolling when it lands. Better ball strikers often prefer this kind of flight because it performs well in wind and gives you more shot-shaping control. Single-digit handicap players testing the ZXi reported picking up 5 to 8 yards of carry distance compared to their previous gamers, specifically on their solid strikes. Where the ZXi gives up some ground is on those off-center hits. When you miss the sweet spot, you'll notice the distance loss more than you would with the Qi35. The ball doesn't carry as far, and you're giving up more total yardage. But here's the trade-off. If you're confident in finding the center most of the time, the ZXi's maximum distance potential might actually be higher than the Qi35. So which one wins on distance? It depends on your strike consistency. The Qi35 gives you more reliable, repeatable distance across all your swings. The ZXi rewards your best swings with potentially more maximum distance, while still providing solid performance when you don't catch it pure. If you're finding this breakdown helpful, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. We're breaking down the latest golf gear so you can make smarter decisions. And we've got more head-to-head comparisons coming your way. All the product links and current pricing are in the description below. Both drivers give you tools to customize performance, though the level of adjustability differs. The TaylorMade Qi35 features a 4-degree adjustable hosel that gives you significant range to optimize launch conditions. You can adjust loft up or down by 2 degrees, in half-degree increments. And you can also modify lie angle to help with shot shape tendencies. This adjustability is valuable if you want to experiment and dial in your setup. Maybe you need more loft in winter when the ball doesn't carry as far. Maybe you want to reduce loft in summer when you're swinging faster. The Qi35 makes those changes straightforward without buying a new driver. The Hosel adjustments also influence directional control. If you tend to miss right, you can set the Hosel to promote draw bias. Fighting a hook? Dial in some fade bias. It won't magically fix swing flaws, but it can help you work with your natural tendencies rather than fighting them. The Srixon ZXi keeps things simpler with plus or minus 1 degree of loft adjustment through the Hosel. That's enough range for most golfers to find their optimal launch window, and maybe make seasonal tweaks, but you're not getting the same experimentation options as the Qi35. One advantage to Srixon's approach is simplicity. With fewer adjustment options, you're less likely to fall into endless tinkering mode. Sometimes having too many variables leads to overthinking instead of just playing golf. Pick your optimal setup at fitting, make minor seasonal adjustments if needed, and go play. Both drivers benefit significantly from proper shaft fitting. The right shaft makes a bigger difference than any Hosel adjustment, so if you're investing in either driver, take time for a quality fitting session. The wrong shaft can undermine all the technology these clubs offer. For maximum adjustability and customization options, the TaylorMade Qi35 gives you more tools. If you prefer straightforward setup without constant tweaking, the Srixon ZXi's simpler approach has real merit. Let's talk about the investment, because these are premium drivers with premium price tags. The TaylorMade Qi35 retails for $599.99, putting it at the top end of the driver market. You're paying for cutting-edge carbon face technology that no one else is really doing at this level. That full carbon construction costs more to manufacture, and TaylorMade positions this as their ultimate forgiveness solution. Is it worth the premium? If you genuinely struggle with consistent contact and need maximum forgiveness, the Qi35 might save you more strokes than any lesson would. When equipment can improve your scores by helping you hit more fairways and maintain distance on mishits, it justifies the investment pretty quickly in terms of enjoyment and confidence. The Srixon ZXi comes in at $549.99, representing serious value in the premium driver market. You're getting modern technology, excellent build quality, and performance that competes with anything out there while saving $50 compared to the Qi35. Srixon has always positioned themselves as the brand delivering tour-level performance at more accessible prices, and the ZXi continues that tradition. You're not cutting corners or accepting lower quality. You're buying from a company that doesn't charge quite the same premium for their name. Here's another value consideration. If you're a better ball striker who doesn't need absolute maximum forgiveness, paying extra for the Qi35's carbon technology might not make sense. You'd be paying for forgiveness you won't fully utilize. The ZXi gives you the performance you need while keeping more money available for other equipment or green fees. On the flip side, if you're a mid to high handicapper who genuinely needs that extra forgiveness, the Qi35's additional cost is probably justified. It's purpose-built for your game, and the performance benefits are real and measurable. Spending an extra $50 to gain more fairways per round is worth it. Both drivers represent solid value at their respective price points. The Qi35 is priced appropriately for the technology it delivers. The ZXi offers elite performance at a more competitive price. Your decision should be based on what your game actually needs, rather than just comparing price tags. Both the TaylorMade Qi35 and Srixon ZXi are outstanding drivers that can help you play better golf. They just take different approaches to getting you there. The Qi35 is the ultimate forgiveness weapon. built around groundbreaking carbon technology that protects your distance and accuracy on the inevitable mishits we all make. The full carbon face and ultra-high MOI create a driver that maintains performance across a wider range of strike locations than almost anything else on the market. The muted sound and feel won't remind you of every imperfect swing, which can help you stay confident and aggressive. If you're a mid to high handicapper who struggles with consistent contact, if you frequently miss the center of the club face, or if you simply want maximum forgiveness with predictable ball flight, the Qi35 is worth serious consideration. It costs more, but the technology and performance justify the price for the right golfer. The ZXi delivers explosive distance and premium performance at a more accessible price point. It's built for golfers who strike the ball reasonably well and want to maximize those good swings while still having solid forgiveness on the occasional miss. The traditional sound and feel with clear feedback helps you stay connected to your shots, and the Rebound frame technology rewards pure strikes with impressive ball speeds. If you're a low to mid handicapper who makes solid contact most of the time, if you appreciate traditional driver feel with responsive feedback, or if you want tour-level performance without paying absolute top dollar, the ZXi is a compelling choice. You're getting excellent distance, good forgiveness, and quality craftsmanship at a competitive price. There's no wrong answer here, just the right choice for your game. Consider your strike consistency honestly. Think about the kind of feedback you prefer and factor in your budget. Either driver can help you hit it longer and straighter. Thanks for watching Golf Gear Now. If you found this comparison helpful, hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss future gear breakdowns. And remember, all the links and current pricing for both drivers are in the description below. Now get out there and find some fairways.